And hello again, and here we are back on my drive in that dead time between Christmas and New Year. But it's a good time to look back over 2022 and look forward to what projects I'll be working on in 2023. And of course, one of the main projects I'll be working on in 2023 is this, my Mark II Resto mod, which is going to have a 1400cc engine put in there. So I've been working on this quite a lot recently, and I'm now getting to the point where I can't do much else until the engine goes in. Now the engine is almost finished. There was a long delay over the summer when I wasn't very well, and the cylinder head was off being ported by Roger Upperton over in Leeds. But that's all sorted out now, and it's just a question of waiting to get the engine finished. That's been done by my friend Les, who, guess what, has also been ill recently, but he's now on the mend, and hopefully in the next few weeks we can make some progress with the engine and then finally get it in the bike. At which point, well, just got to get an exhaust pipe made for it, some small updates here and there, and hopefully by the spring this bike will be ready for the road. So what else has been going on over the last year? Well, I started the year quite unexpectedly by bringing home the green Z650 project that was going to be done elsewhere. But a change of plan meant I brought the rolling chassis home, and I spent the spring working on that. Got the frame repaired, it has some rust damage, got the frame and swing arm repaired and powder coated, got the wheels repaired from some crash damage, got them powder coated. I did something that's a bit silly really. I fitted some R6 front brakes, some discs and calipers to the standard front end. And it turned out to be so difficult to do and quite expensive to do, it would have been easy just to fit an entire R6 front end to the bike along with the rear wheel. But I've already done that with this bike and with the 1170 project and with my, hang on, the neighbours just turned up. Just like pause there when my neighbour just turned up and wished me Happy Christmas. Yeah, so I've already done that on 3 different bikes. I wanted to keep the sort of 70s look of those old-fashioned wheels and forks on the green Z650. Once that was done, we then had a long wait for the engine to be started, to be rebuilt, and that's actually just started quite recently, just before Christmas, and it's all going quite well. We have found a few issues, such as a broken crankcase, for example, which has now been welded up, machined and repaired, and now as I speak, the engine cases have gone off to Camcoat to be given a really high-tech ceramic silver finish. When they all come back, which will be mid-January, then the engine build can begin in earnest. So that's going okay. What else is going on? Well, the poor old Motor Guzzi, which is sat in the back of my garage, has done nothing to it all year. But I have concluded that I need to revisit the charging system and the battery and so on, because I designed it to have a lithium-ion battery, and it turns out lithium-ion batteries don't like old-fashioned charging systems because they can't take the variety of charge going in from an old-fashioned rectifier stroke alternator, which of course is what my Guzzi has. It's actually made by an Italian company called Saprisa, and even in Motor Guzzi circles it's known to be quite a poor system. So I can either spend a fortune, i.e. well over £500, to update the charging system and rectifier so I can fit a lithium-ion battery, or I can keep what I've got and just fit an old-fashioned lead acid battery. The problem with that is there's not a lot of room on the bike, so I've got to redesign the battery area, which I've made to take a lithium battery. It's a much smaller lithium battery, so that's something I need to do at some point in the future. But right now my head's just a Z head. I'm just working on Zs at the moment, Kawasaki Zs of various kinds, so the Guzzi will have to wait. Another project that turned up in the year was very unexpected, and that's my Kawasaki Z1000 A1 project. And the reason it turned up was because, well, I got very ill over Easter, almost died in fact, and I'm still not 100%, but I'm fine really. And my consultant said to me, you know something, you should do more things of things you like and less of the things you don't like. Now obviously you can't always do what you want, but I thought, well, what do I like? Well, I like building bikes, I like doing projects, so I went out and bought a frame from D&K, only a frame. The reason for that was because even barn find Kawasaki Zs of various types are still going for £4,000 or £5,000, and I knew most of that bike, if I bought one, I'd throw away. I wouldn't use the forks, I wouldn't use the wheels, the brakes, suspension. I wouldn't use most of the engine because it'll be stripped down and rebuilt, so it didn't make sense to spend all that money on an existing bike. So instead I bought a frame that came all the way from America for £500, and since then I've been spending money like water on the parts I need to complete an entire bike. So that's going okay. That's been sort of a background task for me over the year, and I've now got pretty much everything I need. I've got the running gear from a new 2021 or 2022, whatever it was, Kawasaki Z900 RS, wheels, forks, brakes and so on, and I've got all the parts I need for the engine, most of which are all boxed up in my conservatory somewhere, just waiting for the day the engine can be built up. The engine cases, barrel and so on have all been repaired and cleaned up, and I've now got a really nice ceramic finish on them, also done by Camcoat. And in fact, that same finish is what I'm going to have on the Z650 engine, which is being done right now. So yeah, that's a project for 2023. So that's a quick run through of what's been going on this last year. Quite a crappy year actually for me, but we're all still here, and fingers crossed things will be okay in the new year. So my plans then for 2023 is, first of all, not to buy any more motorbikes, not to buy any more projects. I've just got no more room. I've now got 10 motorbikes and I've got space for about 8. So no more bikes. Actually almost broke because the other day I was following a eBay auction of a Kawasaki Z1000 ST up in Settle, not too far from me, up in the Lake District there, or near the Lake District, and I was shocked how cheaply it went for. It's a really nice bike, complete bike, running well, MOT'd, went for £2,000, and I kicked myself because I could have bought that, no problem. I've nowhere to put it, but I still want to buy it, and you know, dealers want £4,500 for bikes that aren't as good as that, so somebody out there got a fantastic bargain. So anyway, looking forward then to 2023. What's going to happen? Well, hopefully I'm going to finish the Mark II. I'm going to finish the Z650. That's actually the one that's right now as a priority. I want to get that done as quickly as possible. There are reasons for that. I need the space in the garage and so on. I want to get that done for the spring. My poor Z650 1170, which has been in there untouched for such a long time, I need to move forward with it. It's almost finished, like all my bikes are almost finished. I've had a problem with the outrigger system on it, and it's been leaking oil, and I've tried different things, still leaks oil. It's very frustrating, and it takes you a good 1 or 2 hours just to fit the damn thing, and every time you do it you worry you might strip a thread because these bolts are quite small that go into the engine cases. Oh, it's just a nightmare. So I just left it. I've not been feeling very well, so I just left it, but that's something I need to revisit and get that finished as well for this year. I want to ride that down 1170 this year, well, say this year, 2023. So yeah, so 1170 finished, Mark II finished, green Z650 finished and out the door, which leaves me with hopefully the space and the time to complete, I won't say complete, but certainly work on the Z1000A1 project, which actually I'm quite happy with. I assembled it a few weeks ago, which I made a video about, and yeah, I was quite happy the way it looked. We did find a few issues with that quick assembly, but nothing too urgent. And then of course my poor old Guzzi that's currently sitting in the back of the shed, I've also got to knuckle down and complete that. But I've been saying that for 10 years and it's still not finished, so you know, it'll get finished when it gets finished. But as I say, I want to finish the Zs first. I'm in sort of like Kawasaki land at the moment. I'm just concentrating on Kawasaki's, and I don't want to sort of think about something completely different for the time being. Yeah, so that's that. So my promise to myself is finish 3 of these project bikes, make a start on the Z1000A1, ditto the Guzzi, and don't buy any more project bikes or bikes in general because I've got nowhere to put them. It would be quite nice for me to go out and buy a brand new bike. I just get on it and ride it and don't worry about things, just ride the damn thing, and you know, it starts, it goes, no problems at all. But I've got no space to keep another bike, and quite honestly I find most modern bikes pretty ugly and I'm not really interested in them whatsoever. I've also of course got other bikes that you've not seen for a long time. I've got my Ducati 888, that needs a full service. I might actually sell that because I've not ridden it for such a long time. Okay, slight break there because the camera shut itself off, but we're okay. Yeah, I was saying the Merch 131, I don't think I'll do much with that next year. I still have a full one-off aluminium swing arm we made for it some time ago, which I've not fitted yet because it's just a nightmare to fit, and I'm not quite sure what finish to give that swing arm yet, but I might do that sometime this year if I get time. What else is going on? Oh yes, I've also got my Norley project, my Norton stroke Harley Ironhead project, which I've not done much with in the last year or two. Only thing I've got to do with that is cure an oil leak from the primary chain area, from the primary cover. I know what it is, I know what I've got to do. I need a new seal, so I've got that. I just haven't done it yet because it's just a hassle to do, and I've got no room to work on the bike, so it's just been left. But that's something I might do over the summer when I get time. Finally, I've got my drag bike that never was, which now is sitting in my conservatory without wheels or forks because the wheels were stolen to use on the 1170 project. And again, I'm not sure what to do about that. I think I mentioned it some time ago. I should maybe sell it for what I can get for it, or maybe I can build something out of it. I do have an idea in my head that I've had for a long time, which is completely different from all these different bikes, so that's something I might do in the future. It's a very personal thing. It's a very sort of be uncomfortable, and it'll be impractical, and it'll be very silly, but it's something I might want to do. The engine for that, the engine I've got in the drag bike is a 127 El Primero Evo engine, makes about 120-130 brake horsepower, so maybe not the ideal engine for what I have in mind, but it's an engine I've got, so I may end up just using that. Yeah, so lots of stuff going on, and is it going to rain soon? Might do. Yeah, so I won't be out here too long. Yeah, so that's a quick review of my year, and also a look at what I might be working on in the next year, 2023. So overall then, I'm glad I'm still here because I nearly died, as I say, Easter this year. Didn't die, thank God, and I'm okay now. Still not 100%, but I'm a lot better than I should be. As my consultant said, I should be dead, and I'm not dead, so I'm quite grateful for that. And so for now then, I think we'll end the video here because I think it's about to rain. So I'll get the Mark II back in the garage, and I'll see you in the new year when we'll be working on this Mark II and the 1170 and the Green Z650 and the Z1000A1 and God knows what else. But one thing's for sure, we will be getting some bikes finished, getting them running, and hopefully we'll be able to show you how they sound, how they run during the summer. So thanks for watching, and cheers.